After dinner, I open my banking app. Balance, 0. Ethan, my account is empty. Alicia smiled. It's a glitch, Mom. If it were a glitch, they would have stayed. By morning, the bank said the transfers were authorized by me. Someone used my trust like a password. Today I pull receipts. Tonight I lock my doors. From this moment, I stop begging. Family can be love, but it is not a pin. Watch what happens when a quiet mother says no. I stack plates after dinner, wipe crumbs, and open my banking app to pay the utility bill. The screen loads, blinks, and slaps me with 0. My breath hitches. Ethan, I say, trying to keep my voice steady. My account is empty. He looks at Alicia, then at the floor. It's a glitch, Mom. Alicia smiles too fast. Banks freeze totals all the time. Weekends. Maintenance. I paid groceries this morning, I say. There was money. Then it'll refresh, Ethan says. Tomorrow. Call them, I say. Now. On speaker. Alicia's smile hardens. Don't be dramatic. We just ate. Let's not start a fight. My balance is not a feeling, I say. It's a number. 0. Ethan rubs his forehead. I'll swing by tomorrow, all right? We'll sit with the bank. I promise. I watch his hands. They shake. Why are your hands shaking? I had too much coffee, he says. Alicia reaches for my phone. Let me see. I hold it close. No. I'm calling myself. She drops her hand. Okay. Fine. Apps glitch. I also know how bills are. I swallow. Rent, medicine, light. They don't glitch. The kettle clicks. Steam whispers. I don't move. Ethan steps closer. Mom, breathe. We've got this. Do you? I ask. Because I don't. Alicia sighs. We were trying to help you plan better. You worry too much. Plan what? I say. Explain it to me like I'm slow. Budgeting, she says. Allocations. Moving things so they grow. Into whose name? I ask. What? Into whose name did my money grow? Ethan snaps, too quick. Mom. Answer me, I say. Silence lands heavy. The kettle hisses like a warning. We started an investment account. For family. For future needs. With my retirement? My throat burns. Without asking me. We were going to tell you, Ethan says. Tonight wasn't the time. The time was before you touched it, I say. You shared your login last month. You said, pay the water bill from my phone. We paid it. We also optimized things. You used my trust like a password, I say. Give me my money back. She laughs, small and sharp. It's not that simple. It is, I say. Return it. Ethan glances at the door. Let's sleep on this. You can sleep, I say. I'll be calling the bank. Alicia picks up her purse. Tomorrow we'll explain everything. We'll bring coffee. I want my balance, I say. Not pastries. You always turn molehills into mountains. My account is a mountain, I say. And I live on it. Ethan reaches and stops. Mom, trust me. I did, I say. That's how we got here. He flinches. We're not thieves. Then prove it, I say. Open your phone. Show me transfers. Alicia steps between us. No, you don't get to police our phones. It's my money, I say. It's our family, she shoots back. We acted for all of us. I stare at her. Leave the spare key, I say. Tonight. Ethan stares. Seriously? I'm not safe, I say. Until I understand what you did, I keep my doors mine. Alicia digs in her purse, tosses a key on the table. The ring hits the wood. Here. Happy. No, I say. I'll be happy when I have what I earned. Ethan's shoulders sag. Mom, I'm sorry you're upset. I'm not upset, I say. I'm empty. They head to the door. Alicia pauses. Please don't make this public. I'll make it real, I say. The door clicks shut. The apartment feels bright. I stand still until the kettle dies. I text Ethan, I need answers tonight. 3 dots appear, vanish, return. His reply arrives, stop stressing. Sleep. I stare at the words. I type, bring back my money. No response. I call the bank. A comm machine says, we're closed for maintenance. For lost or stolen cards, press 1. I hang up. I text. Did you authorize transfers? Silence stretches. I sit on the couch with my phone like it's hot coal. The screen's blue light paints my hands. I try to pray. Words fall apart. I try to count breaths. Numbers loop to 0. I make tea I cannot taste. I put the spare key in a drawer. I open the bank app again. 0 waits like a flat horizon. I whisper to the empty room. If it was a glitch, you would have stayed. My voice sounds thin but true. I close the curtains, turn off the lights, and let the dark hold me upright. I open the app again. Still 0. I dial the bank. Welcome to Meridian Savings, a woman says. How may I help you? My balance vanished overnight, I say. Please check recent activity. Certainly, she says. I'm seeing multiple transfers. Unauthorized. I ask. Authorized, she answers. By who? I whisper. By you, she says. Read the details, I say. For transfers, she says. Late last night. Digital signature on file. I didn't sign anything, I say. Freeze my cards. Lock online access. I can lock access now, she says. Would you like to file fraud? Yes, I say. Email me the forms. You'll receive them shortly. I hang up and dial Joy. Come over, she says before I finish. I'm bringing tea. Tell me, she says when she arrives. I lay out dinner, the glance, the 0. Joy covers my hand. You are not crazy. I gave him my login once, I say, for a water bill. And he walked through that door again, she says. I hate thinking that about my son, I say. Hate the act, she says. Hold the person accountable. The bank said I authorized the transfers, I say. Then it's misuse, she says. Document everything. Help me list it, I say. Screenshots. New email. 2-factor. Police report, she says. I'm scared, I say. You're prepared, she answers. Fear can ride in the back seat. My phone buzzes with the bank email. I print the forms. I'll go with you, Joy says. But first call Yusuf. I nod and dial. Bye, something's wrong. Maybe it's a mistake, Yusuf says. The bank says I authorized late-night transfers, I say. You don't believe it either, I say. I believe you didn't do it, he says. Do you think Ethan? I don't want to think it, I say. But I see the shape of it. I'm coming after work, he says. Don't sign anything without counsel. I'll find legal aid, I say. Joy's here. We're making a list. Good, he says. I'm with you. We hang up. I text Ethan. Did you move my money? 3 dots pulse. Stop. His message arrives. Alicia said we'll explain later. I reply. Later is too late. No answer. Joy pours tea. What did he say? He hid behind later, I say. Then you build your own clock, she says. What next? Police. New accounts. A lawyer, I say. Write it, she says. Paper holds. I print the statements. Look at the destination, Joy says. Alicia Patel Holdings, I read. A new account. She wanted control, Joy says. Now you take yours. My phone rings. Alicia. I put it on speaker. Hello. It was for an investment, she says. For us. It was my retirement, I answer. You'll thank me, she says. For stealing first and explaining later? I ask. We didn't steal, she says. We reallocated. Without consent, I say. You shared your login, she says. That's implied consent. No, I say. That was trust. Trust isn't a signature. You're overreacting, she says. Markets move quickly. My heart moves slower, I say. Return the money. We can't unwind it today, she says. Funds are placed. Place them back, I say. We'll talk tonight. I have a meeting. You had a meeting with my life last night, I say. Don't be dramatic, she says, and hangs up. Joy watches my face. Name what you feel. Metal, I say. Mouth full of metal. Say the harder part, she says. I was used, I say. Then we move from used to choosing, Joy says. How? I ask. Step by step, she says. Bank. Police. Lawyer. Passwords. Locks. Witnesses. I'll write statements after lunch, I say. Then file them. I'll drive, she says. I'll sit outside the room. I open a notebook, write the date, list tasks until the page steadies me. I text Ethan again, bring back my money, bring the spare key. No reply. I fold the printouts, find a pen that doesn't skip, breathe until my ribs loosen. I can come every morning this week, Joy says. We'll make calls together. Thank you, I say. I thought I was alone last night. You were not, she says. You were just surrounded by quiet. I drink tea. The metal fades to leaves. I'll change the locks today, I say. I'll hold the ladder, she says. I will not be a secret, I say. And you won't be a victim, Joy answers. You're the author. I nod, pick up the folder, and pick up my name. I push open the bank doors. Good morning, I tell the guard. I need the branch manager. Omar will see you, he says. Omar rises from a desk. You must be Mrs. Raza. I am, I say. My account was emptied last night. Let's pull everything, he says, guiding me to a screen. We'll start with transfers. I need clear answers, I say. We'll use logs, he says. Please sit. There, he says. 4 transfers. 2341, 2348, 2359, 006. To where? I ask. A new account named Alicia Patel Holdings, he says. My throat tightens. Show authorization. He clicks. E-signature on file. That is not me, I say. Open the signature. He enlarges the image. It reads your name. It reads my name, not my hand, I say. I didn't sign any night form. Then it's fraud, he says. We'll freeze all cards. Freeze them, I say. Lock online access too. Done, he says. Now we print statements, timestamps, IP addresses. Print everything, I say. I need a trail. The printer hums. Paper spills. He stacks pages. Here are transfers, device IDs, and locations. Locations. I ask. Home IP first, he says. Then a second IP 2 streets over. Alicia's cousin lives there, I say. He works with computers. We note that, he says. Do you want to file a report today? I will, I say. Who do I speak to? Financial crimes desk, he says. Take this folder. He slides it across. Thank you, I say. He nods. I have a mother. I know how sons borrow lines before they borrow money. I gave my son my login once to pay a bill, I say. It happens, he says. It explains access. Will the bank call these transfers consent? I ask. We'll record your dispute, he says. The forged signature matters. So I am not shouting into wind, I say. You are documenting, he says. I gather the pages. My hands shake, but the stack feels solid. At the desk, he adds, ask for Nadim. He'll notarize your affidavit. I'll do that now, I say. He stands. I'm sorry this happened. I am sorry I gave them a door, I say. But I found the lock. I walk to the station. The lobby smells like coffee and copier ink. I need to file a report, I tell the clerk. Name and details, she says. I hand over the folder. Transfers. Forged e-signature. Destination in a relative's name. She scans. Detective Harris can take this. A tall man steps out. I'm Harris. Come with me. I sit across from him. Tell me what happened, he says. My account went to 0, I say. The bank shows 4 late-night transfers. The e-signature is not mine. Who had access, he asks. My son, I say. His wife. How? I gave him my login once to pay a water bill, I say. He saved it, I guess. That's how they got in, he says, writing. And he texts. I unlock my phone. Here. He said, we'll explain later. She said, you'll thank me. He reads. Did they admit moving funds? She called it an investment for us, I say. For you, he asks. For them, I say. It was my retirement. He nods. I'll need copies of IDs, your consent forms, and your dispute. Omar printed everything, I say, tapping the folder. He opens it like a medic handling a wound. This is good. IPs, device IDs, a second address. Alicia's cousin lives at that address, I say. We'll verify, he says. We'll subpoena her account. Will they be arrested? I ask. We move step by step, he says. First preservation. then interviews, then charges if needed. I don't want to destroy my son, I say. I want my life back. Restitution and boundaries exist, he says. Justice is not only cages. What do you need from me now? I ask. Your sworn statement, he says. Read it, sign it, and don't discuss details with them. I won't beg, I say. I will act. He slides paper over. Start here. Speak in your words. I write. The pen carves truth in small lines. He witnesses my signature. We'll follow the trail. Call me if you need more, I say. I will, he says. Change your locks and your patterns. I already did, I say. Today I change my mind. I leave lighter than I entered. The folder rests under my arm like armor. I head home, rehearse the next calls, and keep walking forward. I meet Priya at Legal Aid. Thank you for seeing me, I say. Of course, she says. Tell me what happened. My son and his wife moved my retirement, I say. They used a saved login. Do you have proof? She asks. I set the folder down. Transfers, IP addresses, forged e-signatures. She scans fast. Will revoke any powers, set a living trust, and protect what's left. Will that stop them? I ask. Yes, she says. Only you sign. We add a financial no-contact clause. Will I press charges? I whisper. Decide after you are safe, she says. Safety first, justice next. I feel stupid, I say. Trust was misused, she says. That's on them. First, passwords. I'll change everything today, I say. Use a manager, she says. Two-factor on all accounts. I can do that, I say. Second, she says new accounts. The trust will own them. Do I need a trustee? I ask. We'll name a successor who cannot act now, she says. Pick someone steady or use a professional. I'll pick a professional, I say. Third, she says, close open doors. Spare keys, auto pays, shared apps, any links to their emails. I left doors open for love, I say. Close them for love of yourself, she says. Fourth, a letter to your landlord, she says. You alone handle rent. He's kind, I say. Mr. Collins has known me for years. Kindness loves clarity, she says. She hands me drafts. Read and sign if they match your truth. I read. They do. Sign here, and here, she says. My hand steadies. Will this hold? It will, she says. And if they test it, the court will hold it. My phone buzzes. It's Mr. Collins, I say. Answer, she says. Mr. Collins, I say. I saw your auto pay bounced, he says. That's not like you. I changed accounts for safety, I say. It will be covered tomorrow. Do you need a break, he asks. A small studio opened. I can discount it if you need a reset. Thank you, I say. If I must move, I'll ask. I trust you, he says. Text the new details when ready. I will, I say. I hang up. He offered help, I tell Priya. Keep good people close, she says. Now the police report. I already filed, I say. I won't withdraw it. Good, she says. Restitution follows pressure. I leave with copies and a checklist. I call Joy. Passwords, I say. Come home, she says. We'll do them together. At my table, Joy opens her notebook. Read each step, she says. Email, I say, and change it. Banking, I say, and change it. Utilities, cloud, health. I log out everywhere. Two-factor, Joy says. We add it to each account. We write backup codes on paper and seal them under the sugar jar. Doors, she says. I'll call a locksmith, I say. No more shared keys. She nods. This is you choosing you. The locksmith answers quick. 2 locks, I say. Today. 2 hours, he says. My phone lights up. Ethan texts, Mom, don't turn this into a scene. I type, return what you took. He replies, we'll talk. Don't embarrass me. I send, bring the spare key by 6. Alicia writes, you raised him to be generous. Why punish him now? I type, he was generous with my money. I delete it. I write, I am not your wallet. Send. The locksmith knocks. New cylinders, he says. Fresh keys. No spares for now, I say. He drills, replaces, tests. The door meets the frame with a firm click. I pay with the new card and file the receipt. I stand there, hand on the knob. This is mine, I say. Priya calls. Documents filed. The trust is active. Court in 2 weeks for the financial no-contact order. Yes, I say. Add it. It's added, she says. Eat something. I will, I say. Last thing, she adds. If they call, keep replies short. Use. Please communicate through counsel. I'll use it, I say. Evening drops quiet. I label folders. Bank, legal, housing, tech. I test the locks again. Ethan texts, we love you. Stop this before it gets worse. I reply. It got worse when my account hit 0. No answer. I send Mr. Collins the new account. He replies with a thumbs up. I keep the message. I boil rice and fry an egg. I sit with joy. I sip water and breathe slower now. My phone buzzes. Alicia, final offer, let us manage it. You'll thank me. I breathe, count 3, and type. I will handle my life. The typing bubble stops. I speak my rule out loud. I protect my life first, I say. I choose clear doors, new locks, and one sentence that holds. I am not your wallet. Phones start ringing like alarms. I answer Joy first. Sleep, she asks. Barely, I say. Today the dominoes fall. Come over, she says. Whiteboard's ready. I walk to her apartment with my folder. She opens. We'll track every rupee, she says, raising a marker. Start with the transfers, I say. 4, 2341, 2348, 2359, 006. All to Alicia's shell. Joy writes, Alicia Patel Holdings. My phone buzzes. Unknown number. Morning light cuts the table hard. My stomach knots, then steadies. Hello. A clipped voice. Is this Alicia Patel? No, I say. This number is on an invoice for a diamond tote and 2 designer coats, he says. Payment reversed. We need a valid card. Wrong person, I say. Remove this number from her file. He hesitates. Understood. Joy lifts an eyebrow. Vendor? Luxury, I say. Reversal means the bank's flagging her. Good, she says. Note the time. Omar calls. Precautionary holds are in place, he says. Fraud unit is reviewing the destination account. Did they freeze her spending? I ask. Some attempts declined, he says. I emailed you a timeline. I'll print it, I say. Thank you. Keep everything in writing, he says. Alicia texts, let's fix this privately. I reply, return what you took. She, we can't. Me, then use counsel. She, you'll ruin Ethan. Me, proof, not panic. Joy circles proof on the board. Say it again. Proof, not panic, I say. No more apologies. Another text appears from an unknown number. Grandma, it's me. Don't tell. I used a friend's phone. Are you okay? I send a sun and a heart. She writes, Dad's scared. I type, I'm safe. Fear is not remorse. Are you safe? She, I'm with Mom. Lots of whispering. I want to see you. Me, we'll plan soon. For now, school, rest, and truth. Back to the list, Joy says. Any other activity? I scroll emails. Fraud alerts at 6:18 and 6:22 on her side. 2 declines. She's losing shine, Joy says. I don't celebrate, I say. I document. Ethan calls. Mom. People at work are talking, he says. My boss heard whispers. This could cost me. Return the money, I say. We're trying, he says. You went nuclear. I went factual, I say. Send receipts and a cashier's check. I can't right now, he says. Funds are placed, and you're making us look bad. You did that, I say. Proof by 7 tonight. Not words. We love you, he mutters. Honor me, I say. Joy writes proof by 7 p.m. in thick ink. Boundary. Yes, I say. No more open doors. Email from Omar arrives. Timeline attached, I read. Logins, IPs, authorizations, destination creation. Last 10 card attempts. Print 3, Joy says. I print 3 copies. Harris texts, we're close. Be ready for interviews. I call. What does close mean? Bank cooperation is strong, he says. Device IDs and a helpful vendor. Today I'll request camera footage tied to the luxury attempts. Need me? I ask. Just keep records and avoid contact, he says. Emma texted from a hidden phone. I say. Document. Keep it gentle, he says. We'll move. I text Priya. Vendor called me by mistake. Reverse charge. Timeline received. Harris says interviews soon. She replies, excellent. With them, reply only, please use counsel. Alicia again, meet in person. No cops. No lawyers. I reply, please use counsel. She cowered. Me, please use counsel. Joy taps the board. Totals. 4 transfers, 1 pending, I say. +2 declines. She writes amounts, underlines the sum. Now the hidden costs, she says. Sleep. Trust. Time. Sleep, I say. Lost. Trust, she says. Bruised. Time, I say. Spent on repair. Utilities call. I fix auto pay and log each step. Omar emails one more note. Destination account now flagged. Further withdrawals halted. I reply with thanks. Ethan texts. Boss wants a meeting. Help me. I type. Proof by 7. Receipts. Cashier's check. Spare key. This is cruel. Me. Accountability feels cruel to those who lived off chaos. Joy whistles. Write that down, she says. I do. The sentence looks like a backbone. Afternoon slides across the wall. My hands finally stop shaking. I'm tired, I say. Nap, Joy says. 4 hours. I'll guard the door. I said do not disturb, exceptions for Priya, Omar, Harris. I set the folder by the couch. Breathe. Text me if the sky falls, I tell Joy. It won't, she says. You're holding it. I lie down. My last thought is a rule. I stop asking for apologies. I ask for proof. The room steadies like a house with new beams, and sleep comes long, dark, quiet. When I wake 4 hours later, I check the board, my phone, and breathe. For the first time since the night of zeros, rest feels like stealing my life back and keeping it. My phone rings before breakfast. Harris, I answer. We can move, he says. Fraud, identity misuse, forged consent. What happens first? I ask. I'll notify the DA and schedule interviews, he says. Expect calls. I'm ready, I say, though my stomach flips. Keep replies short with them, he says. No side deals. I won't, I say. Thank you. I call Priya next. He's moving, I say. Good, she says. They'll offer a settlement soon. What kind? I ask. Money in pieces, no admission, she says. They'll try to end pressure without owning harm. I don't want to dance, I say. Your line is simple, she says. Cashier's check for the full amount, written apology, and court orders. I can hold that, I say. You can, she says. Text me if they appear. They appear at noon. Alicia alone, smile trimmed like a blade. Surprised, she asks in the hallway. No, I say. You like stages. If you drop this, she says, we'll pay in pieces. No court. Bring a cashier's check for the full amount and an apology in writing, I say. She laughs. You're old. Heat climbs my ribs. Old is patient, I say. Be practical, she says. Your son is drowning at work. He should swim toward honesty, I say. We can make you whole over 12 months, she says. I am not a lender, I say. You'll ruin him, she says. He's responsible for his choices, I say. Withdraw the report and I'll wire a down payment today, she says. Cashier's check, I say. And the apology. You're enjoying this, she says. I'm steadying myself, I say. This is family, she says. Then you should have protected it, I say. You can't fight forever, she says. I don't need forever, I say. I need restitution. You won't get both, she says. I'll take court orders, I say, and hold the door. She peers past me. We made upgrades here. You downgraded my trust, I say, and close the door. I text Priya. She offered pieces. I held the line. Priya, good. Document the visit, time, statements, reply. I write it down and breathe until the heat thins. Evening brings the class. Joy meets me at the community center. Ready, she asks. As I'll ever be, I say. We tape the sign, Boundaries 101 for seniors. People file in, quiet and watchful. Joy opens. Tonight is practice, she says. I step forward. I gave my son access to help him, I say. He used it to help himself. A murmur. A man in denim raises a hand. What if it's your daughter? Same rule, I say. Help is not access. Love is not a password. A woman whispers, they said I'd never see my grandson if I locked my door. Document, use counsel, meet in public, I say. Do not negotiate with fear. Another voice. How do you know it's time to act? When your body knows before your brain, I say. Shaking hands are evidence. Joy writes scripts on the board. Please use counsel. No keys. No logins. They're short on purpose, I say. Short survive stress. We break for tea. Steam threads the room. An older woman leans in. I'm proud of you, she says. Thank you, I answer. Role play ends the hour. Joy plays a charming borrower. I practice no. No, I say. That doesn't work for me. Again, she says. No, I repeat, clearer. My answer is no. We close with the list. You are not selfish for locking your door, I say. You are responsible. Afterward, the hallway is quiet. I gather handouts. Grandma, a small voice says. I turn. Emma stands by the bulletin board, backpack on, hope shaky. Hi, sunshine, I say. I'm sorry, she whispers. I didn't know. Dad's scared. I know, I say. Are you okay? She nods. I want to see you. We'll make safe rules, I say. Daylight. Public places, no surprises. Mom won't like that, she says. She can dislike it, I say. We still follow it. Can we start this weekend, she asks. Yes, I say. Joy can join the first one. She exhales. I miss your honey spoons. I kept the honey, I say. And 2 cups. She hugs me quick. I have to go. Text me from the friend's phone when you're home, I say. I will, she says and slips away. Outside, night smells like dust and jasmine. Joy locks the room. How did it feel, she asks. Like standing up inside my bones, I say. Good bones, she says. My phone buzzes, an unknown number. Alicia, we'll talk tomorrow. Me, please use counsel. On the walk, Harris calls again. Interviews in 2 days, he says. Hold the line. I will, I say. Old is patient. He exhales. See you soon. At home, I hang my coat, count the keys, and set tomorrow's clothes. I speak my rule once more. I take dignity over deals. Then I turn out the light and let the quiet keep me. Sleep comes slow, but it comes like a calm tide returning to a scraped shore. Fluorescent lights buzz like rude bees above me. I sit with Priya, fingers on my folder. The case of Raza, the clerk calls. I stand. Alicia dabs at her eyes with a glossy tissue. Ethan sits behind her and stares at the floor. The prosecutor rises. We have a trail, she says. Logins, late-night moves, forged consent, device IDs, vendor calls, voice clips. Timeline and certified records submitted. Priya touches my sleeve. Your statement, she whispers. I step forward. My name is the only thing I own that no one has stolen, I say. Today I keep it. I trusted my son. I gave him keys. He emptied my life. Alicia sobs. We needed it. We were drowning. Needing is not taking, I say. Drowning doesn't let you steal air. The judge nods. Continue. I gave access once to pay a bill, I say. They used that door to clean out my account. I woke to 0. When I asked for proof, they told me to sleep. I changed my locks instead. I want safety. I want my work back. The prosecutor asks, do you request no contact? Yes, I say. No keys, no logins, no night calls, no surprise visits, no back channels through friends. The defense lawyer stands. My clients feel deep remorse, he says. They offer a payment plan. I asked for a cashier's check and a written apology, I say. I was offered pieces and a smile. Restitution calculation, the judge asks. The prosecutor reads the sum. It lands like a stone and becomes simple. Ethan is employed, the defense adds. He can make steady payments. Miss Patel can attend classes. Education isn't an apology, I say. Service can be a start. Alicia cries louder. I'm not a bad person. I move money too fast. You forge consent, I say. Fast and wrong is still wrong. Counselors, the judge says, lifting his hand. Let the witness finish. I look at Ethan. You texted. We'll explain later, I say. Later never came. I asked for proof by 7. You sent nothing. Then you asked me to stop. I will not stop choosing myself. Ethan finally looks up. Mom, I'm sorry, he whispers. The words cut clean. Thank you for saying it, I answer. Now honor it. Sentencing recommendations, the judge asks. The prosecutor says, restitution in full, supervised. A no-contact order. Community service for both. Ethics and financial literacy for Ms. Patel. Counseling for Mr. Raza. The defense says leniency. Priya squeezes my hand. You may address the court, she says. I choose restitution and a no-contact order, I say. I choose rehab and community service for Alicia. I choose counseling and a payment plan for Ethan. I choose to live. The judge writes, then speaks. So ordered. Restitution administered by the court, weekly supervised payments. 100 hours of community service for Ms. Patel with a local shelter. Required classes. Counseling for Mr. Raza. No contact for 1 year, renewable. Violations will be sanctioned. A year. Alicia says. She's my family. Family is not a free pass, I say. Family is responsibility. Any other requests? The judge asks. Priya rises. All communications through counsel. Granted, the judge says. Your Honor, may I add one line? I ask. Go ahead, he says. I release what isn't mine to carry, I say. Guilt, shame, and their stories about me. He nods. Let the record reflect the victim impact statement is complete, he says. He lifts the gavel. The sound is final in kind. Chairs scrape. I breathe again. Priya slips the order into my folder. You spoke your name, she says. I kept it, I say. In the corridor. The air tastes like paper. I walk toward the door, steady. Footsteps follow. Mom. Ethan says, stopping a few feet away, hands open. Do I have a chance? You have a plan to follow, I answer. Work, payments, counseling, and time. No shortcuts. I'll do it, he says. Then do it, I say. Not for me. For you. And for your daughter. I miss you, he says. I miss who we were, I say. We can build something new if you build it on truth. Alicia edges beside him. Can we talk, she asks. Please use counsel, I say. She scoffs. You won because you played old and fragile. I walked in and told the truth, I say. That is strength. Enjoy your year, she says. I will enjoy my peace, I say. Priya steps up. This way, she says. We move toward the exit. Outside, the sky looks like clean paper. The order is thin, but it holds. I hold too. On the steps, Ethan calls again. Thank you for not asking for prison, he says. I asked for repair, I say. Prison can't repair. Work can. He nods. I'll see you from a distance. That is the rule, I say. Follow the plan. I walk down the steps. A breeze lifts the edge of the order. I press it flat and say my name in my head. It sounds like a door I closed and a window I opened. Weeks blur into tidy piles of days. I keep my folder on the table. Each morning I clear a square of space and say, begin. Joy knocks, pops her head in. Breakfast audit? Tea and 2 crackers, I say. And a receipt review. She laughs. You became an accountant and a hawk. I became awake, I say. The news travels in circles. Alicia texts once, then goes quiet. Emma writes from the friend's number, I'm okay. Ethan's Friday message lands like a clock. Transfer sent. I answer with a thumbs up. No sugar. On Monday, I sit across from Dr. Salim. Grief has stages, he says. Boundaries do too. Which ones? I ask. Shock, anger, bargaining, courage, practice, he says. You're in practice. I want practice to feel less like battle, I say. Build a ritual, he says. Something small repeated. I make soup on Fridays. I file receipts on Sundays. I walk the long block on Wednesdays to pass the jacaranda. Good, he says. Name what you keep. My late husband's brass compass, I say. And what do you let go, he asks. A cracked teapot, I say. I'm taking it to the thrift store. That afternoon, I carry the teapot in a paper bag. The clerk rings the bell. Donating? Yes, I say. Outside, I breathe. I set the compass on my windowsill and turn it until the needle calms. Alicia's life starts sliding. Joy reads posts aloud while we slice carrots. She lost her job, Joy says. I stir the pot. Consequences moved in. She's doing service at the shelter, Joy adds. Mops, buckets, that shiny floor. Good, I say. Mirror work. Ethan calls between shifts. I picked up nights at the warehouse, he says. Day job still holds. Keep your schedule, I say. Keep your payments. I will, he says. Mom. No contact except logistics, I interrupt. Transfer sent, he says softly and hangs up. Friday evening, Emma knocks with Joy. She wipes the table with a dish towel. Can I help you count the receipts, she asks. You can read the totals, I say. I'll stack. She leans close. This one says week 3. Week 3, I echo. We write received and today's date. She smiles. Grandma, do you still keep honey spoons? I kept everything sweet, I say. I threw away only what cut me. Joy lines up bowls. Taste test, she says. Salt, pepper, and hope. Emma laughs. Hope needs more pepper. We eat standing up. The soup tastes like clean work. After dishes, Emma ties her laces. Dad is trying, she says. I see the trying, I say. Trying turns into trust only after time. I'll keep counting with you, she says. I'll keep a chair for you, I say. When they leave, the kitchen shrinks to a warm square. The compass winks in the corner. I write 3 lines on the whiteboard, pay attention. Ask for proof. Answer briefly. I sleep. Another week slides into place. Alicia's friends turn to clouds. Invitations dry up. She texts, can we talk? I reply, please use counsel. She sends a photo from the shelter. A mop, a low shine. Her shoes reflected back. Service keeps a person honest, I text. Or tired, she replies. Honesty first, I write. Ethan's payments keep arriving. Transfer sent. I answer with the thumbs up. He adds, second job pays fortnightly. You'll see 2 transfers next month. I reply, noted. I walk by the jacaranda. Purple drifts like quiet confetti. I say, keep moving. The air says nothing. Silence agrees with my plan. My feet keep time with ordinary courage. Joy comes by with lemon and garlic. We're making victory soup, she says. What's the victory? I ask. You slept 4 nights, she says. I did, I say. No nightmares. Just the hum of the fridge. She grins. Look at you. You grew a spine and wings. They were buried under yes for years, I say. We simmer the pot. Steam fogs the pain. The compass keeps still. My phone ticks. Transfer sent. I lift my spoon. To boundaries, I say. To practice, Joy says. I sip. Salt sits right. Pepper hums. The taste is small, honest, and warm. It stays. I sit across from Priya and sign where she points. This time, you keep control, she says. Yes, I say. I keep it in guarded. No co-signers. No back doors, she says. No keys left under mats, I say. She smiles. The trust owns the accounts. You approve every move. I approve every move, I repeat, steadying my hand. Initial here and here, she says. I write my initials. Done. Final page, she says. This locks the old leaks. I like locks, I say. They keep love honest. She nods. You can still be generous. I will, I say, but with both eyes open. Outside, the day looks clean. I text Emma, tea. She, yes. After school. I set out 2 chip mugs. When she arrives, she traces the cracks. Why do you keep these? They tell the truth, I say. We survived. She pours. Will Dad come back? If he keeps doing the work, I say. Payments, counseling, time. He said he starts tonight, she says. Good, I say. Good is a seed, not a finish line. She breathes into her cup. I hated missing you. I stayed put, I say. I kept a chair. Can I call you every Wednesday, she asks. Yes, I say. 7 works. Public places for visits until later. Rules make me feel safer, she says. Me too, I say. Boundaries are not punishments. She touches the compass on the sill. Does it still point north? It points to steady, I say. I carry it when I need courage. She smiles. Carry it today. At the community center, I tape our sign. Boundaries, not walls. Joy straightens it. Your voice leads. My voice listens first, I say. The room fills with faces and quiet. I begin. You can love people and lock the doors. A man lifts a hand. Even your son. Especially the people you love, I say. A woman whispers, is forgiveness the same as access? No, I say. Forgiveness is a gift. Access is a responsibility. Another asks, what if they call you cruel? I answer, cruelty is stealing peace. Boundaries protect peace. Joy writes on the board, please use counsel. I add, short phrases survive stress. Should I feel guilty? Someone asks. Feel anything, I say. But act on facts. What if they send tears? Another says. Listen, I say, then ask for proof. A man says, my sister keeps my spare key. Change your locks, I say gently. Offer tea, not entry. The room exhales. I pass handouts. These scripts held me when I shook. Are you still shaking? A woman asks. Less, I say. Practice steadies hands. Joy closes the session. Small steps. Rehearse your no. As people drift out, I collect pens. Footsteps stop at the door. Harris stands there with a folder. Final notice, he says. Case closed. I ask. Closed with restitution on track, he says. You did the hard part. I felt like I was just writing lists, I say. That is hard, he says. It beats begging. Thank you for steady calls, I say. Keep documenting, he says. Peace likes paper. I smile. I have a drawer of peace now. He tips his head. Good drawer. Joy locks the room. Dinner, she asks. Walk first, I say. We step into evening. The sky looks like clean paper waiting for ink. I'm lighter, I say. You sound like yourself, Joy says. Myself, I repeat. I remember her. My phone buzzes. Ethan, week 12 paid. I start counseling tonight. I type good. I almost add more. I stop. Joy watches. Short is strong, she says. Short is strong, I echo. We pass the jacaranda. Emma texts a photo of the mugs. Saved our spots. I reply with a heart. Joy nudges me. Compass. I slip it into my pocket. It says steady, I say. What do you say? She asks. I say home, I answer. My phone rings again. Mr. Collins, I say. New rent posted clean, he says. Got your trust notice too. Thank you, I say. Clarity is kindness, he says. Need anything? I'm staying, I say. I may paint. Pick a color that forgives, he says. Eggshell, I say. It reflects. He chuckles. Good choice. And I'm proud of you. I'm learning late, I say. Late still counts, he says. Call if you wobble. I'll call if I wobble, I say. He says night and hangs up. We keep walking, quiet but bright inside. I breathe and let the air stay. If this hit close to home, like the video and subscribe. I share true, first-person stories about boundaries and healing. What would you do if your balance hit 0? Tell me in the comments. And share this with someone who needs a reminder. Love isn't a password.